The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Are you ready to take a journey? Let's connect with the healers of the world. It's that time. It's time for the Language of Healing on W4WN Radio and Talk 4 TV. Now here's your host, Dr. Nicole Fortin.
Hello, and welcome to the Language of Healing. I am your host, Nicole, and it's been a while that we've been live on air. I've had some people asking me, where'd you go? What's happening? And this episode, I'll tell you all about what's happening in my world. The last time we left each other was around the holidays, and which is always a busy time. Well, for me, I don't know about you, but there's lots going on, people taking holidays. It's busy and it's slow, right? It's a bit of a transitionary time. And the new year still carries on. Today is January 28th, 2025, and we have the new moon coming, or today, tomorrow, around now, happening. It also symbolizes the spring festival and the new year in the Chinese zodiac. So February 3rd is the spring festival that is celebrated in many parts of the world. And this is coming into the year of the snake from the dragon under the element of wood. And myself, as a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine person, we take a lot of our medicine and observation with these characteristics around the different elements, the different aspects. It's like it expresses a lot of ourselves. And so we'll maybe dive into a little bit of that, because the snake is all about letting go of old patterns, shedding your skin, and taking on fresh possibilities and looking into new opportunities, being creative, strategic with your decisions and your planning. And what better way to bring in a new year with those vibes of where you've been in the past and looking forward to where you're going in the future. And another great topic for today, we have a very special episode because I have been traveling, which is one of my favorite passions. Mixing travel with music is like cream of the crop for me. So I am back from ShipRocked, which is a rock and metal cruise that leaves from Miami. We went into the U.S. Virgin Islands and into the Bahamas. And that was my first time on a cruise, ship, rocking out with some live music and awesome people. And I was there with the Pipe Man, who's a legend unto his own. So we're going to share some of our shenanigans from that experience, share about the travel and the benefits of travel. And also, anyone who knows about traveling may have experienced the post-travel dip, the post-travel blues, where you're back in reality with this enlivened inspiration and how to bring that into your everyday life. And even if you're not traveling right now, how can you bring in some of those aspects that renew your spirit and give you inspiration? And when you step away from your environment, your everyday life, it gives you perspective and gives you a little space and room to see what might not be working, see those old habits, those old ways, and gives you a freedom to explore a new way of living, a new way of being. And that's essentially how we grow and evolve and, live our best lives for the greater good. So let's bring on our amazing guest. We also have Juan in the background, who is our incredible engineer.
But he doesn't have anything to contribute from ShipRocked, so.
No, but however, you two are both living in Florida, and I saw this week that Florida got some snow, some crazy snow, and the way that Floridians have been handling the snow makes me giggle. As someone who comes from a very snow-driven country, like I saw a guy vacuuming the snow off the lawn. Okay, I've never considered that ever in my entire existence.
Vacuuming.
Yeah, vacuuming
Are
the
you
snow off the
kidding
lawn.
me?
No, and a guy with a literal salt shaker grinder, uh, salting his driveway.
Well, I could see salt in your driveway, but
Yeah,
I
but with a
mean,
grinder, it's just like it was just hilarious to me.
what's hilarious to me is that it's just snow, people. Relax. Now, I will say one negative thing about what's going on because, you said about the, snow in Florida. Well, yes, while I was at ShipRocked, my youngest daughter, she was messaging me like they were having a blizzard up in the Panhandle. Well, she yesterday had to go to this is all over the news, actually. She had to go to Panama City with her turtle crew to go save like well over 1,500 turtles because when the temperature drops that much, the turtles can die because
Oh
they're
no.
reptiles, and so, like,
Yeah.
they can't handle it, and so, basically, she had to go out there and save turtles and release turtles and warm them up and, give them some s'mores and stuff like that.
Wow. How snuggles? I would
S'mores.
snuggle them.
S'mores.
I
I
would
don't know if you
snuggle
wanna
those.
snuggle them; they might bite your head off, okay?
No, but they're like I'm thinking the little ones.
No, no, no,
The
it's not
little.
little ones, these are huge sea turtles,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah. Just
They're
wrap
they're
them up in the blankets.
they're bigger than you, not that that's saying much, but they are bigger than you, okay?
Yeah.
And that's a
Wow,
compliment. That's a
that's
compliment,
pretty
by the way.
wild that that's it, what a crazy blast of cold that's come over.
And from what I understand, I wasn't here, I was out in the middle of the ocean, but from
Yeah.
what I understand, it did not snow here in South Florida. However, it did rain iguanas.
No. Yeah, those poor critters too. They're probably not liking the cold.
No, they don't like it at all. They freeze and
Although,
fall out of the trees
yeah, yeah.
on your head. Okay, like,
Okay.
so careful when
Juan,
you're walking under the
Have you
trees.
ever seen an iguana fall from a tree?
Uh, when today?
Yeah.
It happens all the time. But yeah, like when it got
Oh,
cold, they
really?
were dropping like flies.
Whoa. Oh, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
you don't.
He was so
which is
trying
sad
to
because
stop himself from saying that phrase, okay? But then he's like, "Yeah, there's nothing else I can say."
Yeah.
That's why people use the phrase.
yeah, you didn't have to go hunting for them anymore. You could just pick them up off the floor, put them in the bag.
Yeah.
And did you have a iguana soup, Juan? Because I know in Mexico, that's like a big delicacy.
Yeah, but that's like South Mexico. I'm from the north, so we don't do the weird things like that.
You only like ant larvae and grasshoppers. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's also from the South.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
I just
see.
wanted to
How-
make you do it.
And I didn't.
Someone,
do it.
hey,
I didn't fall.
someone
for that
offered
trap.
me.
I failed.
I'm just remembering that before we went to ShipRocked. So Pipe Man and I went on this wild adventure ShipRocked. Before that, we went to the South Florida Fair, and someone offered me a maggot, a larva. What was that? It was like a warm, and I thought like, oh, is this what people are eating here? Like this is wild.
I don't really want to say what that is. It is South Florida. Okay, let's leave it at that.
I almost was like, I thought about it for a second, like, should I just went in Florida? But I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't. I think it was a
And
joke.
Nicole will tell you that I'm also when I'm at a festival and ShipRocked is a festival just on a boat. I am a ninja because you could be standing next to me 1 minute, next minute I'm gone.
Poof. Yeah. That is correct. Yeah. You were like the king of snaking through your way
See,
through a crowd.
they had
So that the
dodgeball.
qualities of the snake.
Yeah, they had
Snake.
dodgeball on the ship.
Yeah.
So that I kind of, because I couldn't go because we were doing interviews, that I couldn't go to the dodgeball competitions. I just did it in that respect. That's what I was doing. I was playing dodgeball.
Yeah.
Without balls.
Someone actually made a comment to me who knows you well enough
Yeah.
to say
Yeah.
that, like, because I was there with you helping with interviews, and they said to me, my fat ass couldn't keep up with them. Like, you move so fast. Like, it's a marathon, and I will tell you, it's like nonstop. Like, we're in bed late, up early, all day going, and I'm just gonna give myself a pat on the back for keeping
And
up
if
with
you
my
don't
men.
keep up, then too bad. That's on you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So what were we doing there, Pipe Man? How was ShipRocked for you?
23 interviews.
Yes.
Which is a lot for a cruise festival, because they don't listen. I normally, there could be 60 bands at a festival. You can't have 60 bands. It is cool though, because you have bands and they play 2 sets in 2 different stages. So you get 2 different vibes. It's really cool. You have either like the main stage deck vibe, which is out on the Lido deck. And then you have the like club vibe in the theater or the lounge. And we went on a quest, pun intended. Okay, so there is an interview. In fact, I'm thinking about playing it on my show tomorrow. We'll see, but we had the coolest cruise director in history, better than the Love Boat. Okay. And his name was Cookie. Okay. Mm-hmm. And let me just say that there are some things that what happens on ShipRocked stays on ShipRocked. All I can say is there's this thing called Quest, where it's an adult X-rated scavenger hunt. And all I can say is I was going to go do radio coverage of it. I showed up, looked in the doorway, and decided maybe not. And if it's a maybe not for the Pipe Man, okay, you can only imagine what it is, okay, because like it made Pipe Man look G-rated. I'm just saying. Let's just say,
oh my goodness,
there is a picture.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe I should text it. Hey, Juan, if I text you the pic, no, we can't show it on this show. Maybe for Pipe Man.
I don't know, maybe, but we can paint the image.
The winner of Quest, okay?
Yes.
And it was a dude and a string. Let's just leave it there. A dude and his string.
You know what I loved about ShipRocked? And I heard these comments from other, like, fans and stuff, people on board, was that, like, it's just a chance to let your hair down, like, be free and get together with some like-minded community and explore a different side of yourself that you may not normally access or let loose.
You want to know what I really loved about it? I'll tell you what I really loved about it.
Okay.
The fact that I couldn't call anyone and I didn't answer anyone. Because
no service.
Like, people get mad at you if you don't answer. And like, sorry, I can't. I had one client, okay? And I bet you want, not on the air, but I bet you Juan can guess who it is, that was told that I have no phone use on the boat. Yet within a 15-second period of time, there were 5 missed calls. Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay. But so what was even nicer is that it's a very political time right now. And I got back and I have no clue what happened. And I'm going to stay that way. Okay, I don't want to know. I don't want to know what was signed. I don't want to know what's going on, because you know what? At the end of the day, I'd rather not ruin my mindset, man. Like, sometimes ignorance is bliss. People say they have to be informed. You don't have to. You do have to be informed, but you don't have to be that informed. And so, like, I'd rather have a positive attitude about everything, no matter what's happening, whether it goes my way, not my way, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. And to me, that's the language of healing. It is, avoid the negative at all costs, like a snake.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Snake your way through that negative crap.
Like, find another route, like if there's a resistance where you are, like, take this is a martial art aspect or principle, that when you're grounded. Yeah, exactly. You are a ninja. And I'm like a ninja apprentice. I keep up with you pretty well, hey?
I'm like story
right there.
That I rudely interrupted.
Yeah. Okay, so but when you're just take a step back, pause, like reground yourself. Both feet planted it on the ground in the earth. And from here you have 8 different options of movement. So if you're on a course going one way, like, and you meet some resistance or something that doesn't jive well, like, just stop, re-anchor, and be open to another possibility. I think that's very snake-like, Yeah.
What is the significance of the 8?
Well, 8, means a lot of things, but in that context, it's the movement. You can go like forward, backward, side, and then you have like all the other side movements.
Right, but what is there a specific thing that decides that's 8 opposed to 16 opposed to 32 opposed to 4 opposed to 2?
Yeah, I know, because I guess you could cut that into any number. That's a good question.
Sure if there was like Chinese significance to
8 is ba. It's like good. It's good luck. It's infinity. It's unlimited potential. It's a power number. It's like, it's abundance. It's everything. And then, if we talk about numerology, there definitely is significance with every number from 0 to 9, and then you can add from there, but those are like the basics. Well, 0 is kind of an interesting one. 0 is more like everything, the all and the nothing, but it is like infinity. It's ongoing. 9 is more completion. What is 2025? 2 plus 2 plus 5. It's a 9-year, number 9. Ooh. So 2024 was an 8, an 8 year. So that was, if you power struggles and, forging your path, and like, it's almost the end of the cycle. It can get a bit rough at the end, right? Like the light at the end of the tunnel, or it's always darkest before dawn. 9 is coming more into a place of completion and wrapping things up. And I think that's a great way to reflect, like a great time to reflect on everything you've been through, say over the last 8-9 years or something like that, this last cycle, and turning all of those memories.
About 8? You know why I asked about 8? Because I wanted to see if you were saying from a Chinese perspective, because it does have a lot of meaning in Judaism.
Yeah, that's right.
8 is the magical number, high, and basically in multiples of 8. And 8, what basically it represents is, it signifies transcendence, or going beyond the limitations of the physical world, often associated with the concept of a new beginning and a covenant with God, most notably represented by the practice of, you ready? Circumcising a Jewish male on the 8th day of life.
Okay. Well, that was very textbook. You're a good student.
Well, I did read it, okay, but you just didn't know I was reading it. But I knew about Chai, and I knew what to do with, like, listen, I do have 4 kids. Okay, only one of them is a boy. But basically, it is true. Yet there's a reason, like for Jews, life starts and then it's in increments of 8.
Oh, that's interesting, because in Chinese philosophy we have for men it's increments of 8 every 8 years, your body, and women is 7 year cycles.
We'll see.
So
there is a
yeah,
tie between
there
the
is
two,
there is
which is why
correlation,
you
of
picked
course,
8.
because when it comes to numbers, it's really like a frequency, it's a vibration, it's beyond words. Even it is just what it is. It's music, and that's part of the healing properties of music, is that it's like frequency, and you can align yourself to those things, right? So and I believe that numbers are essentially that. Like you look at those cool like the geometry when they play a frequency on those do you know those pads with the sand, and like it's like the Fibonacci sequence or whatever.
Mhm.
Like every tone has a different geometric shape is what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, as well as the work from Masaru Emoto. He's like the water crystal guy. Water, music, words, numbers, it's all a frequency or a channel, a medium to get a message across, which is kind of cool. And then we get stuck in our little mind, our magical mind, and life is actually pretty miraculous. And there was no short of miracles on ShipRocked. Yeah, so Cookie was awesome. Okay, you know what else about ShipRocked? It was, so I imagine that every year is a different theme, and this year's theme was the 80s.
Next year's pirates.
And isn't it the Greek gods?
Oh
or
yeah,
something?
not pirates, Greek gods.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of togas.
The festival.
Yeah, there you go. See, you're the festival.
That's this week.
King of all festivals.
This weekend.
Yeah, are you hitting that up?
Yes. Okay. I'm also hitting up the South Florida Fair again.
Yeah.
Because they're having a music competition.
Okay. Great.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Did see some riveting skating, Stars on Ice at the South Florida Fair.
Was it riveting? Yes. Absolutely. So what else do you want to share about ShipRocked? Or are we done talking about ShipRocked?
Yeah, what else is there to share? I mean, I think it just was like a good segue into some, sailing into change. And, the camaraderie, the people that go there, the people that you meet, the freedom it allows people to just be, like I said, like let their hair down and be themselves. I did have conversations with quite a few people, like, and saw some on the Facebook forum and stuff like that, like, they're quite shy in normal day life, but you get together in a community of like-minded people and suddenly you're able to express yourself and grow. And I think that's really cool because, there is so much more to life, that you might not know.
So why don't you share with the listeners your experiences on ShipRocked? At least the ones you can talk about.
Yeah, right. The G-rated one.
You did at Quest. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
But every other part of it.
I mean, yeah, well, firstly, keeping up with you was like a mission unto itself. But I loved every second of it because I love to have a purpose and a mission and something that drives me to, be a little bit outside of my comfort zone. Like you are a master at this. It was amazing to watch you and your mastery, like, because you've been, doing this a while, I imagine, like 20 plus years or something, or 18 years you've had the radio station.
Yeah, and I've been doing the Pipe Man radio tour for like 15 of those 18.
Yeah, so that's so cool. I mean, just to experience like that aspect of it, and try to be some help there, taking some sweet pictures. I mean, interacting with the artists is like a real treat because it's one thing to like hear the music and move to the music and be on that side, and to hear some of their perspective is, enlightening. And it just realize, it connects you with them, because we're all just people doing our best to get through this world or life. And when you can turn something into an enjoyable, enjoyable for some, right? Like if someone connects with your art, like I just think that's like such a freeing thing. So to connect with people like that is cool. All the other people that are working there, and take your time out of your normal day to be here, be on this crazy ship. It was an experience. I still feel like I'm on a boat a little bit.
That shows
and I'm
your
tired.
lack of cruise experience.
Lack of cruise experience.
The newbie feeling.
Lack of sleep. Like I don't know that I'll ever catch up.
I was just surfing when the boat was swam. Like,
yeah. Yeah, but so ShipRocked, I'm sure there's so much more, but maybe to tune into the Pipe Man Adventures of Pipe Man tomorrow, where I'm sure there'll be more stories.
There definitely will be more. But right now, I want to hear all the healing stories of ShipRocked.
Yeah. The healing. I mean, okay, well, you have experience traveling, that there are real moments in travels that change you or can impact your trajectory of life, right? Like sometimes you're in this unknown space. I have been in so many instances of travel where I'll arrive somewhere and I'll be like, wow, this is the biggest mistake of my life. What am I doing here? Because it feels so foreign or outside of my comfort zone. And then, but that's like a split second of that, maybe a moment. And you regroup, you pause, and you really take in all of the opportunities that lay ahead of you. Like when you're away from your regular routine, you can be just free to be whatever and whoever you want. I think there's something really healing about that, because you can step aside from the daily, routines, responsibilities. And I think on a side note of that, like even just to step outside, get into nature or dive into some journaling, take a little staycation, actually today with the new moon, just in Vedic astrology, which is like from India. And the Indian tradition, they practice a lot of silence. Like they can't, that idea of silence, or mona is what it's called, is a thing too. So even just being quiet, not speaking, you can go more internal, and you can find a lot of relief, reprieve, regeneration through that. So, yeah, I'm tangenting a little bit. But I think that there's so many, like what I love about travel and connecting with people and being in a new environment and being outside of my zone is, I just love that experience. I thrive for the chaos, because it is a bit chaotic, and you really get to test yourself on how am I going to handle the unknown? Or how am I going to make the best of this? And what am I going to do when I'm back to integrate that into my life? And, yeah.
Well, I think one of the most healing things you could do when you get back is to pretend that you're still there when you get back, because those things that were not healing for you are still there, but you can create your own mindset towards that because you don't have to be away to not have to focus on negative things. Especially the things that don't affect your life in any way, shape, or form, which most people, that's what they put their focus into when it's negative focus, into things that may never even be any kind of effect on their life. There's some kind of beauty of just living in your world and your present time than all the surrounding chatter.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely. It's like that's where the power of the pause and the step back, you know. And but there are some things absolutely that are distractions, you know. And when you are the thing about traveling or being out of your comfort zone a little bit is that you're really present, you know, like you are in this moment. And so everything that's not connected to this moment, you know, in taking in the detail, paying attention, like you're, you know, taking in your surroundings, that's, I mean, that's like a real true free space. And you can bring that into your everyday existence as well. There's some things we can't change, some things that we're really facing that are real and true. So I think the grounding and reality check is essential, because then you take a look at, okay, what is real and true? What's in front of me? What's like frivolous, you know? But I mean, even if something triggers you, there's some magic there, you know? There's something to unroot and reveal about yourself. But I think
And
that energy is best spent
what
in
about
the present.
the come down from the high of traveling when you get home? You know,
Mm.
the blues, the come
The
home
post
blues.
travel, the post travel blues. Well, because you know, sometimes real life can be confining. It is a little box that you've created. Like I don't know. Whenever I come back from a trip, I come back to my home and I instantly want to rearrange things. Like I want to move things around. I want to organize this little shelf or you know, like create something different. It's like the new perspective I've come, you know, so when you come back to the same box, but you've grown, you know, and then you're like a crab or a snail that's outgrown its shell a little bit, and to squeeze back into the structure that you've created for yourself. Um, you know, I think it can be a little bit depressing. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but you know, you see a side of yourself that's so much more, and the potential is there. And like, how do you bring that out a little bit more? So I think that is part of a little sadness, you know, like you miss the people that you meet, you miss the way that you feel, you miss the warmth, the sunshine. You know, I'm lucky. I came back to Canada and the sun has been shining ever since.
I'm lucky
That's
too, because you know that Arctic freeze that came over Florida was gone, and it's back in the 70s and 80s, and you know, like it, it was
to me that
because I
sounds like an
left.
era.
It was because I left and because I came back. Okay, because
Yeah.
you know the universe is blessing me and smiting the rest of Florida.
Well, there you go. I mean,
Like
all it's because of the hair, you know. It's the new wave of Pipe Man.
the new wave, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so you want to share about your hair? I think it was really cool. You had like this cool little swoop going.
It's still going. What do you mean had? It's still there.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, I can only see it on this screen right now. But in
Well,
real life, the real life swoop
a real life swoop. I don't
was
know.
cool.
Maybe you were like imagining being gone from Canada and skiing. I don't know. Uh,
Uh,
it was maybe like the flock wasn't as bad as the flock of seagulls. I would never have a
mhm.
flock of seagulls swoop, but that's what we're actually.
Yeah,
When
that would
Bella
be funny.
first did it, she blew dry and all, and I'm like, freaking look like flock of seagulls, man. No, please. I even said, "Can you cut more off?" Because it was so poofy. I'm like, at first, it was so poofy. I'm like, you need to cut some of that stuff off. That's the problem when your hair gets it in a certain stage.
Oh, yeah.
La
Yeah.
Okay, when I grew my hair out long last time after COVID, there if you look back, there's a show I was a guest on, movie reviews and more, and for God's sakes, I looked like Gene Simmons. I had just got my hair done that day, and it got poofed up with, and I looked like Gene Simmons, and that's not even a compliment, man.
I've seen
So,
this picture. I've seen the image.
okay, that's the middle stage. The middle stage of growing hair is horrible.
Yeah.
There's a swoop. Look
Yeah, see, like the swoop. Yeah. Yeah.
here.
Oh,
Can't do it because I
it's
can't
just
see,
like,
and it's not mirrored here.
oh, okay, yeah.
Because if
Just
I had
recreating
it
the
on
wind on
mirror,
the
I
cruise
could
ship.
put it on mirror, but then it would say, "Eh, the lane of Gehirn," which is back the language of healing
The
backwards.
language of,
I
wow.
just saw a TikTok recently that of some girl that was fluent in backwards,
Wow. It's impressive.
right?
I think it actually takes a really smart brain to do that, to be able to do that.
Have you ever seen those memes where it says something, but it's not any of the letters at all? And sometimes pictures, and it says, you're smart if you can read this. I can read all of them. They're easy.
Wow.
Well, that's because I'm a Jew. And in Hebrew, once you learn Hebrew, we eliminate the vowels from writing.
Okay, yeah. It
So,
sounded like you were speaking Hebrew when you said the language of healing backwards,
oh, did it?
actually. Yeah. Oh, look, Juan's giving you a gold star.
I want a platinum star. Gold's not good enough.
How about a heart?
Like Tony
Come on, heart.
Robbins said, yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
See, you have to do it perfect, maybe. What kind of device are you using?
It's a MacBook.
That's probably why it's Mac and it's
Okay,
blowing
no.
out. It's blowing out those hearts. Because I don't think I could do it, but I can't. Hold on. You talk. It's your
Well,
show. You talk. I'm gonna
no,
sit and put the mic down and try to do that.
I think we've already tried this because you could do it from your phone, but not from here. But you can go ahead and try.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Man. You don't
Yeah.
want me to do it, so never mind.
It's a nice try.
Okay, so
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah. Okay, what else do we have? Well,
Well, what else
so
would you like to have? More about the snake. Now,
more about the snake.
I want you to explain about that though, because somebody that doesn't understand, like you just hear
Mhm.
you're the snake and you think negative things automatically because we
Yeah,
put meanings to things. So
right.
and there's associations and anchors. So in America at least, you know, a person, a human that's a snake, they're usually somebody that's doing something not good,
Yeah.
you know?
Snake in the grass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
snake oil salesman,
Yeah. That's right.
those are phrases.
I mean, because they're kind of clever. This is a good example too. Like, so basically, just in a big
You were just
picture.
swooping your hair. No, okay, go on.
Maybe she's born with it. Okay. There are 12 animals, 12 zodiac, right? Which we also have like 12, zodiac in that the Western astrology, right? Or 12 months, and 12 is a big number too. 12 animals, and they're all in a race. And the cycle begins, so they were all in a race, and the one that won was the rat. The rat is the first position. And it got there because it was so clever that it hopped on the ox's back and rode to the finish line and hopped off just at the end and won it all. So then the ox was second. So I don't know, like, because that quality of a rat can be sort of like that. They're kind of clever. So a snake, I think that's one of it is a feature of it. It's clever. It's calculated. It's strategic. Like, so it can be, you can use it for good or evil, right? I mean, for example, my sister is born in the year of the snake, and she is Like
Don't say
always.
it.
It what? No, she's
Don't
she's not.
say it.
She's not snake-like that. Like she's a person that uses it in a really productive way. Like she's always very strategic and clear and planned. There's no hiddenness about it. You can see where
What year
she's
are
at, where she's
you?
gone.
What year are you?
Oh, I'm a rabbit.
So your sister eats
Yeah.
you for breakfast. Is that what?
Yeah, my sister eats me for breakfast. That's right. And I just want to play. I'll play with the snake.
That makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. Okay, now knowing you,
Yeah.
you are definitely the type that would go play with the snake.
Yeah.
You're like,
No.
hi.
Hi. There's like this kind of legend or this thing in India too, because there's a part of their I was staying in India on an ashram in a very remote area in what they called the Valley of Shiva. And it okay, what is this comment here? I had a snake inside
Juan
my garage.
said he had a snake inside his groin this morning. Oh no, garage.
Wow, that's impressive. So Florida's got some snakes.
Well, the cold weather. They need some more warmth again.
Oh, funny. Oh my goodness. Okay, well that's cool. Did you take a picture of that one? I want to see evidence. Okay, so we were in this Valley of Shiva, the Valley of Snakes, and there's the 4 world's deadliest snakes there. And part of the initiation, not for me personally, because I was just like a short-term resident, but I think someone that really wanted to commit themselves to getting over fear of the unknown and being courageous, you had to spend a night in this, valley field, like alone and amongst all that stuff. But it inspires or reignites this part of us that when we're an infant or a baby doesn't know that a snake is dangerous. It sees that so it has no inhibitions to interact with a thing. And they do say that like kids and like children can be some of the most protective energy that we can have around us, because they're so like innocent and pure and just like full of life. And sometimes the evil, like it's just too powerful for negativity. And that's how I personally like to live, is like be that childlike quality that is like, almost the fool in a way, where the fool can represent like a little bit of naivety or like unknown, but it can also be this like innocence of like unlimited potential, right? It's like you don't know. But if you have these preconceived ideas, that stops you, inhibits you. So go in like a child would.
So let me play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
The story of the scorpion and the frog. You know that story,
Scorpion
right?
and frog.
You know that story?
Let's remind the crowd.
Okay. So a scorpion asks a frog for, I don't even know if I'm going to say it word for word, but the scorpion has to get across the pond. The only way to get across the pond is he asks the frog for help. And if you get on the frog's back. Okay. And then when he's on the frog's back, he ends up biting and killing the frog. But then in the process kills himself too, because he does it in the middle of the pond. And so he goes, the frog in the afterlife says, well, why did you do that? I thought we were friends. I was helping you across. And the scorpion said, I'm a scorpion. And that's what scorpions do. They bite and kill frogs. So the frog had no preconceived notion. There's the devil's advocate part of it.
Sometimes you do get bit. Yeah, it's true. That's it. It is. Life does bite you sometimes.
Yeah. Well, now on that note, if you never take a chance you'll never experience things. So sometimes you have to risk being bitten. Perfect example. I think I've said to you before, a few years ago, my ice skating coach was saying, "You never fall." And I took that as a compliment. That was not a compliment.
Mm.
It meant that I wasn't taking enough risks to fall.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, in order to get better, in order to be good, you have to fall. Failure is a part of success.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That was one of my first lessons that when I started skating, it was like, you have to learn how to fall. You got to learn how to roll with the punches. That's, in martial arts too. It's like, you have to learn how to fall properly. There is a way to gracefully fall and get back up.
In every aspect.
Yeah. And I think that's like maybe that childlike quality, because yeah, of course you're going to try, and not everything is going to land. Not everything is going to stick. And what keeps you going despite like the hit downs, because life can beat you up. I mean,
but 2025 is going to be great because you're going to give them the language of healing every week during 2025.
that's
And it's
right.
about
On
that
Tuesdays.
time to tell them how to tune in every week and connect with you on socials, on the web, check out the podcast, past episodes, blah, blah, blah. Tell them.
Yeah, thanks,
Pipe
Man.
Johnny.
Yeah. Yes, well, you are listening to The Language of Healing, and we broadcast live every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Women for Women Network, W4WN.com, and Talk4TV. And you can find previous episodes on the Language of Healing podcast.com. I am on Instagram and Facebook at The Language of Healing. I love to hear from you. Love comments or questions or any topics that you want to hear covered on the Language of Healing and what that means to you, because I am one that has traveled the world curating and gathering some of the best healing modalities and learning long-standing traditions of medicine, and I'm here to share it with you. And I'm really happy and grateful to be able to do that and share that with you. And I hope you have fun along the way, because fun is definitely a high value of mine. And nice to have the Pipe Man here by my side, helping.
Kate Michaels is here too, by the way.
Kate Michaels is here, who's just such a dear mentor and teacher to me. Who's I wouldn't be here without that woman. And there's these people and special moments and experiences that you encounter in your life are something to cherish and bring into your everyday existence. You can integrate that and make a great life for yourself. That's my hope and my prayer for you.
And lemonade.
Join me. And what?
And lemonade.
And lemonade. Yeah. Yes.
Because there's a lot of lemons out there.
A lot of lemons. I do like lemonade.
Yeah, make some lemonade. I had some lemonade on ShipRocked. I think it's the first time in like 10 years I've had lemonade.
Oh, wow. Yeah. How about that soft served ice cream? That was like, everyone talked about that. It was pretty good. Or the yogurt, frozen yogurt.
And the 24/7 pizza.
24/7 pizza. The pool parties, the unlimited laughs, the piano bar, the karaoke, the family feud,
the dating game,
the
newly banned game.
Yeah, the cornhole competition. Cookie, the ultimate cruise director. He was a blast. Definitely made the trip. And
And Dr. Nicole Fortin.
Right.
Let's not forget Dr. Nicole Fortin. She was there, the star of the whole ship.
Yeah, right.
At least all the times I was ninjaing away.
Yeah, ninja wing, but you can't lose me. I'm like glue.
I did try.
Gum.
I did
try. I'm like gum on your shoe.
I did try several times, but hours later, you just showed up again.
Yeah. Ta-da! All right. No, That was a fun experience. Thanks for having me there, and a pleasure. So we'll tune in next week. We'll see you for more adventures on the language of healing. And stay golden. Keep happy. And stay kind, creative. And
I don't think Juan knows what your last thing is.
I don't know. I don't have a segue line out yet. So
just tell Juan. It's over.
Wrap it up.
Wow, what a show today. And the journey does not stop here. Come travel the world with Nicole every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time as together we become more fluent in the language of healing on W4WN Radio and Talk4 TV. See you next week.